used to be in the military, and a phrase we used to use was prior proper planning prevents piss poor performance. And that was a phrase that has stuck with me over the years. And it's one that we use in our business practices, but also for job site safety, both client safety and staff employee safety. So for example, if we're digging pier holes for a deck or foundation, we'll make sure that we cover the holes so nobody falls in. If we're in the kitchen working on a gas line, we turn the gas off to work on it, but when we turn it back on, we're making sure the caps are on. We have special testers to test for gas leaks. If we're working on electrical wires, maybe we don't finish the project at the end of the day, we ensure the wires are capped, taped up, so nobody accidentally brushes up against them. Or if we're working on a roof, or maybe second story and the windows and doors aren't in yet, we're blocking off those openings and putting up the proper barriers or railings to make sure nobody's falling. In addition, we do daily site cleanup, job cleanup, and then every week we do an overall site cleanup. So at the end of each day, we'll throw everything in a pile out of the way, and at the end of each week, we'll bring in our dump trailer and clean up the pile and make sure the job is hazard-free. I think it's important to be honest and upfront regarding expertise. I do my best to put myself in the customer's shoes and answer as if it was my own home. There is always multiple options to a problem or solutions to a problem, and it's important to discuss all those options and the disadvantages or advantages of each. So also with giving expert advice is doing proper planning. So after we give our bid and the customer agrees to use us, we'll set up a time to either meet them on site or at a different location, and we'll go over what the project is, what the plan is, and how we're going to move forward. And we'll address any layout concerns, any material concerns. So we'll address those concerns, we'll come up with a plan. For example, if we're working in a kitchen or bathroom, we'll go to the job site, figure the layout, we'll then meet you guys at a store. We use a local store called ProSource. They also offer cabinet and kitchen design, so we'll meet with their expert. We'll all come up with a plan that works, and then they also offer products. So we'll go through the store, choose flooring, tile, cabinets, countertops, and then we have a meeting of the minds, and we come up with a final product on paper, and then once that's finalized, we put that into real life. So I got into this industry probably when I was born. My dad has always done construction, so I've always been around it from the time I was born. I remember being young and working out on the back deck. My dad would put nails into a board and give me a little plastic hammer, and I would try to pound the nails in. So I think that was my first introduction. And then as the years went on, as I got older, he would bring me onto the job sites and during summer break from school, and we would paint houses or do some interior demolition or remodeling, and that's where I really learned how to use basic tools and get a basic concept of how the phases of construction worked. And then I really got involved probably after high school. I was looking for jobs, and it was an easy transition just to go work for him. So I did that for a while, and then I was also working on my degree at the JC, and I had a calling to go into the military, so I actually joined the Marine Corps. I was in the Marines for 4 years, and I was lucky enough to get access to the GI Bill, which I took advantage of and went back to school. I got my degree in accounting, and I went and did that for a handful of years and realized that being behind a desk and sitting on a computer wasn't for me. And so that's when I reached back out to my dad, and they needed some help and I needed a job, so I made that transition. And that was over 10 years ago, and I haven't looked back, and we've been building the company and doing great projects, and my brothers are involved in the company, and my dad never pursued or pushed any of us to join the company. He actually did the opposite. He wanted us to get degrees and go do other things, and just by luck, we went on our own paths and we all made it back, and that's where we are today, working as a family. My mom's in the office, my brothers and myself are in the field, my dad's still involved, and we have my uncle who does the material running. He runs around the job sites, delivers materials, and does dump runs for us. I think high quality comes down to the details. If you don't get the details right, then nothing else matters. You can build a new home from the ground up and you can get the foundation right, you can get the framing right, but if you don't get the paint job right, you don't get the trim right, or maybe countertops or tile, you can put those in wrong and just ruin the whole look and the whole vibe of the project. So it really comes down to focus, slowing down. After each phase of construction, you're inspecting, you're re-inspecting, you're double checking, you're talking, you're having constant contact with the owner to make sure you're doing what they want along the way, or maybe you get to a certain point and they want to make a change, and you go ahead and do that. But in the end, it's really coming down, reviewing your work, focusing on the little things. If you get the little things right, then the big things fall in place. What makes us different from other competitors? There's a lot that makes us different, but the first thing is our bids, which once you receive the bid, you'll understand, but we are 100% transparent on the work that's going to be performed and what we're going to do to make that happen. So our bid is very detailed. It's laid out by each phase of construction, starting usually with demolition if we're doing a remodel. So when you receive that, you'll see every single item we're demoing, what we're replacing, what we're putting in, and those dollar amounts associated with each of those areas. And we also include the dollar amounts like for finished items, such as countertops, cabinets. So when you get our total bid, you'll know what each of those items cost, not just guessing. Where competitors don't usually allow for that much detail. And so a lot of times homeowners will have a hard time choosing between the two bids, because you have ours, which is very detailed, and you have a competitor, which is very vague. And it's like comparing apples and oranges. So I do think we set ourselves apart by just being honest and transparent up front. And we have that through the whole construction process. So once we start the job, it comes down to proper preparation and protecting the home. So people invite us into their homes and they have a lot of breakable items or picture frames on the walls, or really nice floors. So we take the extra step to cover all that. We set up dust barriers. We have HIPAA, we have filters, air filters that help clean the air. And so we'll protect all that stuff. We'll ask you guys, the homeowners, to remove anything off the walls that we feel might vibrate off through the process. And then once you get into the actual beginning of the construction, once you get into the actual construction, we'll stay in constant contact with you. If you happen not to live in the home, we do daily phone calls to give you updates. We'll send you pictures. We'll do emails. We'll contact you however you like. If you do live in the house, usually at the end of the day, myself or one of my brothers will reach out to you, come show you the job site, walk you through the progress and what the plan is for the next day. So I think communication is key from the very beginning to the very end, and we're really good about communication. And I think that is what sets us apart from our competitors.